about 9 days or so to kind of sit back, look at their mistakes, go back to work in the gym, get some shots up, try to dust themselves off a little bit. And in the process, I'm sure they put up a ton of shots as they tried to work off their Thanksgiving turkey and attempted to shake some early rust that we saw from the floor last week. In the loss, the Senators shot a paltry 33% from the field, including a disastrous 0 of 8 from downtown in that performance. In short, this group, when you look at them, they've been built on a pedigree in the past, all the way from elementary up, of being a team that likes to get out, pressure, create turnovers, score off of turnovers, and of course, being able to knock down that outside shot. Those are all things they've built their success off of up to this point in their careers. And as I bring in my broadcast partner for the evening, Coach Mark Gibson, I believe this is the same type of blueprint that they're going to have success at the varsity level. The question is, when you look at the schedule, it doesn't get any easier here at the beginning of the year, all the way up into the holiday break with a couple of holiday tourneys, the likes of Paoli, just a couple of really tough tournaments, a couple of good tournaments, our own holiday tourney in the county and Borden as well, and then going to Scott County for that holiday tourney as well. When you look at all the things that went wrong for the Senators last week, offensively speaking, Coach, how did they establish some efficiency here early on tonight?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think we need to be a little bit crisper. I think the key is confidence. We need to play a lot more confident. We played with low confidence when we were shooting, when we were passing, when we were meeting passes on our cuts. I think sometimes we don't let our athleticism play. Sometimes I think we just need to toss it up and let talent take over. So confidence is a key. Offensively, like I said, we got to be crisp. The scouting report says we want to get good floor spacing, spread them out, attack the gaps, feed it down low to our post. We want to get the big guys involved early.
Well, on the flip side of the coin, Eastern, much like their county rivals here tonight, are also under the direction of a first-year head coach in Mr. Michael Gillum, after a longtime head coach Scott Newcomb stepped down to spend more time with his family and more time on his athletic director duties in the spring. The Musketeers turned to a very familiar face in Coach Gillum. However, it's been the best of times and worst of times already for this bunch from Eastern, as last Tuesday night they opened up at home against Borden, erased an 18-point deficit, was able to win at the last second over Doc Nash's Braves before coming into their matchup with Scottsburg in the MSC opener at home on Tuesday night, where they got absolutely routed 109-51. And you look at this team, Coach, they're a team built on the dribble drive spread. They don't have a lot of size. They like the dribble drive. They like the kick. So defensively, how do we slow that down here tonight?
Well, first of all, I mean, against Salem, we struggled to keep Hendigas in the lane, where he loves to get in the lane, create, and then, if you start backing off of him, he hit three or four three-pointers as well. So it's just the opposite tonight. These guys are going to throw up some threes. So we're going to have to be able to communicate. We're going to have to be able to effectively close out with hands up on shooters beyond the arc. Good rotations. It just all goes back to the fundamentals. If you're asking me, team defense, which is communication, lots of rotations. Help side. Just go back to the fundamentals. Like I said, at even the offensive side, let the athleticism take over. Let talent play.
Well, as always, we want to take a moment during our Senator Tip-Off pregame show to thank you, the fans, for tuning in to our broadcast tonight here on WSLM and our Senator Tip-Off pregame show. We want to thank all the sponsors as well that make this and every broadcast of Senator basketball possible on the 1220 airways, and that includes our pregame sponsor, Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem, McDonald's on South Main Street, Ace Hardware of Salem, Salem Crossing, and Meadowview Healthcare. When we come back, we'll sit down and have a talk with first-year Senator head coach Clayton Sullivan, get his thoughts on not only the season opener against the Lions last week, but also look ahead to tonight's matchup with the Musketeers. But first, a 60-second timeout to hear a word from the Indiana High School Athletic Association. You're listening to the Senators take on the Musketeers tonight on your home for Southern Indiana sports coverage, WSLM 1220 on the AM dial.
Sportsmanship doesn't happen just on the court or on the field or on the mat. It doesn't happen only in the pool or on the green or the track. It also happens in the stands on the sidelines, on the web, and at home. That's because sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. We remind you to practice good sportsmanship at all high school sporting events. Treat athletes and officials with respect during competition and especially in social media. And support your team's coaching staff. Remember, sportsmanship has a face. Yours. A message from your high school and the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
Welcome back as we continue our countdown to the tip here on the Senator Tip-Off Pregame Show, brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors. As always, now on this portion of the show, we're joined by Senator head coach Mr. Clayton Sullivan. And Coach, had about a week and a half now to kind of go back and reflect on your season opener. You've got your first game as a varsity coach under your belt. Tell us a little bit about what you've learned about your team after that first game.
After that first game, I could definitely tell that our kids are fighters. There were several points in that game where we could have folded up shop, got down double digits, but we were able to fight our way back, and I just think, we kind of ran out of gas there, making that comeback, which is expected when you've only had 2 weeks to practice.
That first quarter, of course, they are able to jump out to a 15-8 advantage, but as you said, falling behind early, your guys showed some resiliency early. It's maybe in a rivalry game tough when you get down early. You don't know how the guys might respond, especially in a season opener. But as you said, I thought they did a nice job of battling back and was able to play Salem to a 12-12 tie there in that second quarter. So still within reach at halftime.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we, even as poorly as we had played that first half, we felt good going into the half in terms of where we were at. It's just those mental lapses that you have, they kind of compound themselves. They just lead into each other, and at some point when you have so many of them, it's really hard to overcome.
And in fact, you did have 12 of your 18 turnovers there in that first half that did cause you some problems, and like we said, put you a little bit behind the 8 ball. But you come out in that third quarter, and I thought the boys showed a little bit of fire, able to outscore the Lions in a low-scoring quarter, 9-5 in that third period, which set you up for a really intriguing fourth quarter going into that period just down 3.
Yeah, the third quarter we played well, especially on the defensive end. But there were still just times where we should have scored more than the 9 that we did. But holding them to 5, I think that said a lot where our focus was on the defensive end. And we've just got to continue that type of focus for 4 quarters.
And as you alluded to earlier, Coach, you were able to finally scratch and claw your way back into a tie, the first tie and only tie of the ball game at 37 apiece. But they were able then to finish out on a little 14-2 run that really stung, and it really just seemed like in that last half of the quarter, the offense just was super stagnant.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is we were gassed, and you exert so much energy trying to get to that comeback, and then you've got to ask the boys to dig even deeper than what they have, and I just don't think this early on in the season we had it. But as the season goes on and we get our legs under us, I think we'll be able to finish out a comeback like that.
Well, and of course, it was just the season opener, just one game, like we said, under your belt now for you and the boys. And I know that you're probably thinking a lot along the lines of Aaron Rodgers telling everybody, just, hey, relax it. We're going to be all right. Get this thing going, get the boys going a little bit. But one area of concern I thought was our post play. Not that Harrison or Jake was bad per se, but when they combine for only 10 points in their third, fourth, fifth in rebounding, there's going to be nights like that where we're going to struggle.
Yeah, we need those two to come up big, night in and night out, just in terms of you look at our schedule, we will have the size advantage in several games. So we need those two, battling hard every night, finishing through people, not around people, and being mentally engaged, not picking up silly fouls, and I think they know that. I think that was a good learning experience for them as well.
Is that a concern for you here early, even after one game that, you look down the stats from that game? Holden had 8 rebounds to lead the team. Abels with 4, Parker with 5. Bobby comes in with a good game. He has 4 rebounds, and the 2 bigs combined for just 7 boards.
Yeah, part of that is, Jake was in foul trouble, and they kind of get in their own way sometimes when those things happen. And we've been talking about being mentally engaged for 32 minutes, no matter what happens, no matter what calls are made for us, against us. We got to stay mentally focused for the whole game. And again, I think, like you said, it's just game 1, so we're not going to panic with the bigs. I think I'm hoping tonight that they'll be able to really show our size advantage.
And, of course, after a 9-10 day layoff and some time to kind of go back to the drawing board, get back in the gym, put up some shots after the holiday break, your attention now turns to your first double-dip weekend of the season, new to the schedule. Lagodi, of course, being added, so you'll have the Musketeers in your home opener here tonight, then travel up to Lagodi tomorrow. Tell fans a little bit about this Eastern Musketeers basketball club under the direction of a new head coach as well.
Eastern, they're a very scrappy team. I think they're going to hustle, and I think that's how they're going to win their ball games this year. I actually talked with Coach Gillum a little bit, and he that's what he said. He said, if we're going to win games, it's going to be because we out-hustle you and we're scrapping and making the game kind of ugly. So that's kind of what we expect. They want to push the tempo. That's just Eastern basketball, and that hasn't changed. They want to try and turn you over, get out and get points in transition, and they're going to shoot a bunch of threes and hope that they hit them.
Tell us a little bit about their personnel, Coach.
They've got Rhett Pennington, Matt Coates, and Ryan Adamson. Those guys, they can play ball. Pennington just broke their school record Tuesday night, hitting 9 threes, and he shot 17 threes. That's one kid. I mean, so they're going to let it fly. And if they're hitting, it could be one heck of a ball game. We've just got to make sure we get our closeouts and get a high hand on those guys and limit them to one shot.
And we've talked about it a little bit throughout the week and just at school and stuff, and being able to see a little bit of that game against Borden in their opener last Tuesday night. This looks like a team, Coach, that due to a lack of size in the post, they really like to spread you out in the half court.
Yeah, I think that's what they have to do. They got a couple post guys, but they're more screening, rebounding guys. They're not really set on the block, and they look to feed those guys. Where they're going to make their money is attacking, getting in the paint, and a lot of times when they attack, they're looking to draw contact, and they're going to try and get our bigs in foul trouble. I know that. We've just got to be smart, stay disciplined, wall up on those guys, box out, and then they're actually, I don't know if you would call it their first or second option. When they drive to the paint, they're looking to kick that out for a 3. So we've got to be able to.
That was some of my conversation with Senator head coach Clayton Sullivan prior to tonight's tip. Quickly, as we count down here to zeros on the board before the national anthem, let's run down tonight's keys to victory, brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem. First and foremost, got to defend from deep. This is a team, as you heard Coach Sullivan just say, they like the dribble drive kick. They like to chuck it from deep. They've got some guys that can light it up. Number 2, own the paint. This is another game where we have a great size advantage with our length with Harrison and Jake. Got to get those guys established early with their athleticism and their strength inside. And then third, got to have that offensive efficiency, which we did not have in the first half. And the shooting woes just continued on throughout the course of the game. Like we said, 0 of 8 from downtown against Salem. Just can't have that on any given night, no matter who it is on tap. Those keys to victory brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors all season long. They're a proud sponsor of the Senators here on Salem's 1220. Stop in and check out their selection of new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot just south of the square in Salem. Their showroom and lots located at 207 South Main Street in Salem, or call them at 812-883-3401 to talk to a sales associate. Eddie Gilstrap Motors bringing you tonight's pregame coverage and your keys to victory for the Senators against the Musketeers. As we wind down, we'll have the pause for the national anthem, so we will hear from one of our sponsors. We'll come back and we will run down tonight's starting lineups for both ball clubs. Two first-year head coaches, Michael Gillum and Clayton Sullivan, across the way from one another. They know each other well. They will show down here this evening on the Ron Smith Court in the friendly confines as the Senators have their season opener here. Welcome back to the Ron Smith Court here inside the friendly confines. As I said, for the first time this season, Senators with their home season opener against the Musketeers in this cross-county rivalry matchup. Time to meet tonight. Starting lineups brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem. First for the visiting Musketeers, 1-1 on the year. Of course, dropped that game on Tuesday night at home in their conference opener to Scottsburg in that 109-51 rout by the Warriors. Michael Gillum, 1-1 in his first year as head coach of Eastern's squad, and 53.5 points is what they average per game, but they give up 81.5. Of course, most of that due to the big 109-point outpouring from Scottsburg on Tuesday. First, for Eastern, they'll start a two-guard set. Number 10, Rhett Pennington, will start at the point. 6 foot and a junior. 21 points per game is his average here early in the season. Had a monster night against the Warriors in that blowout loss, including the 9-17 from downtown. 14, Tevin Jeter will start in the backcourt with him, 5'8", and a senior at 2 points, 2 rebounds per game. At the small forward, number 24, Matt Coates. He's 6'1" and a senior, averaging 15 points per ball game and 6 boards to lead the team. 34, Ryan Adamson will start on one block. He's 5'11" and a sophomore at 6 points, 3 rebounds per game. And number 40, Todd Brenneman, gets the call tonight to start on the other block. 6'2" and a senior, he averages 2 points and 2 boards as well early on in the season for Coach Michael Gillum. For Clayton Sullivan, 0-1 in his first year at the helm of the Senator program. His Senators average 39, give up 51 after one game. We'll see if they can flip the script here tonight, coming off that loss to Salem last week. They'll start a two-guard set. Number 2, Holden Bousman, a 6'1" sophomore at 5 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 steals per game. Was able to fill up the stat sheet a little bit in other areas on Wednesday night of last week. Number 11, Caden Abels. He'll start in the backcourt with him. He's a 5'9" senior at 4 points, 4 boards per game. Up front at the 3 spot, number 12, Parker Green, 6'1" and a sophomore at 13 points, 5 rebounds per contest. And in the middle will be number 32, Jake Strange, big dog, 6'5", and a sophomore at 4 points, 3 boards per game. And at the other forward position, 24, Harrison Sanford, a 6'3" junior at 6 points, 4 boards per game for Clayton Sullivan and his Senators. Last 30 years, Eastern leads the series overall 22-16, but the Senators have won 4 in a row, including last year's thriller at Eastern, 44-43. Eastern in the road purple uniforms, trimmed in gold and white, gold letters and numerals. Senators for the first time this year in the home white threads, trimmed in red and blue, blue letters and numerals, and that flying W down the side of those Under Armour unis. We are set, whistle has blown. We're about to get things under the way, and at the center court circle, it's Jake Strange who wins the tip over Todd Brenneman, and away we go. Senators on your WSLM 1220 AM dial, moving from left to right to start things off as get a nice feed inside, and there we go, Coach. Immediately we get Jake Strange on a mismatch inside. Senators with a quick 2-0 advantage.
Yeah, obviously that's one of the keys. You got to feed the big men. When you have a size advantage, feed the big men.
Tonight's Indiana High School Athletic Association officials for this matchup are Mr. Brent Smith, Kevin Benner, and Gary Brown. Senators opening a little man-to-man defense in the half court as Coach drives it in left side, has it swatted from behind by Sanford. He'll lead the break, pushes quickly to Holden in the front court. He'll slow things up and rally the troops. Off to Parker Green, left side. He'll take it strong, misses it off the glass, and Coach pulls the board. He'll quickly bring it across the timeline, left side. Now over to Jeter on the right. He'll back it out against Abels. Sends it back out top to Pennington, who lost the handle. First turnover of the night goes to the Musketeers. Senators in possession, and Coach Sullivan able to call out the set that he wants. Just over a minute gone by in his first quarter of play.
Yeah, you can't. That's one of the keys as well. We can't be afraid to play. A team that likes to speed it up and make it ugly. We need to push some tempo too, because we could force them into some mistakes that we're already seeing on the other end of the court.
Nice feed as Holden finds Parker, and he's able to get into the mid-post area and gets hacked on his way to the basket. 6:43 mark of this first quarter. Senators leading it early here 2-0. Whistle and a foul. Our first of the night will be on the Musketeers. And it's going to go on 24, Matt Coates, as they get it straightened out down in front of us at the scorer's bench. First foul of the night, as I said, for either team. One turnover already for the Musketeers. Parker Green to the free throw line. Didn't want to say it before he shot the first one, Coach, but he was the only one that really sparkled, if you will, at Salem last week with 13 points, 5 boards, and he was 5 of 5 from the stripe. Make it 6 of 6 now in the year as he hits the first. Second one on the way is in and out, no good. Put the old broadcaster's jinx on, and 6:37 and counting to go in the first quarter, and the Musketeers answer with a 3. And Adamson able to knock it down from deep in the corner, and we've got our first tie at 3 apiece.
Well, these guys are going to live and die by the 3.
Nice dribble drive take by Abels. He gets into the paint, able to go through the legs, but the little floater is short.
Man.
And it's going to be off White, and it will go to the Musketeers. 6:18 to go. First quarter. Glad to have you along with us. Had a little technical difficulty getting on the air tonight, but we're here with you now on 12:20 throughout the evening to bring you the Musketeers and Senators. Coach Gibson riding shotgun once again. 2 minutes into the quarter, and we're going to have a palming violation on Caden Abel. So our first turnover of the night against West Washington. 6:05 to play. First quarter, 3-3 in this cross-county rivalry matchup. Senators looking to get on the board in the win column. Eastern standing at 1-1. Out front, Adamson probably got away with a travel.
I'm not too sure he didn't palm the ball after that.
He gets it right back out top, sends it over to Jeter. Now out top to Coates. Coates will go off the dribble as he works against Parker Green. Has it stripped from behind. Turnover number 2 as Abels will get the scoop and score. Able to pickpocket and cash in for 2 on the other end. Senators back out in front at 5-3. Coates in the high post. He gets bottled up, forced to kick it out to Jeter, right side. As they're swinging around the perimeter, Adamson with it, nowhere to go. And now has to force him to kick it back out to Coates.
Senator, you can really tell they're concentrating on closing out.
There he is, though, Coach Pennington with his first triple of the night on the way, no good. Left it short. And the Senators control the defensive glass, 5-10 and counting first quarter. Senators up 5-3 with the basketball. They go into their half-court set. They find Parker on a nice little banana cut coming from that opposite high post. He can't get the basket, but we'll have foul number 2 on the night. Whistled against the Musketeers.
Senators seem to be a lot more aggressive. I mean, don't you think coming out to start this game? Yeah. Obviously, Parker was real passive in the first half against Salem, and he's gotten 3-4 shots up already. First
foul of the night whistled against Todd Branneman, and we'll have a substitution. Matt Coates will check out of the ball game and into the ball game for the first time tonight for Coach Gillum and the Musketeers. It's 22 Parker Walton, a 6'2 senior. 3 minutes gone by in this first quarter of play. Parker cashes in on the first, now 2 of 3 on the night, and make it 3 of 4. And just like that, the Senators out to a 7-3 advantage, and we'll have our first timeout of the night. This will be a 30-second timeout called by Coach Gillum, so we'll keep it right here. Remind fans to stay with us throughout the night. We'll have our halftime report, Senator halftime report, all season long, brought to you by McDonald's on South Main Street in Salem. And then we will have our post-game wrap-up here from the Ron Smith Court once this one is finished tonight. As we'll bring you all of the stats and the interview with Coach Sullivan, win or lose. Brought to you by Ace Hardware of Salem. Be sure to stop in and check out their deals going on here at the holidays. They've got some December bargains of the month coming up starting tomorrow. We'll also have Cookies with Santa, I believe, tomorrow as well.
It's nice to see Caden come out aggressive as well. He's already got a couple of assists. You know, he's got a steal that led to his layup, and there's another steal.
Good effort to get on the floor. Harrison makes that one happen and hold the recipient of the loose ball. He's able to cash in and make it now 9-3, largest lead of the night for the Senators here early on, nearing the halfway point of the first quarter. Jeter recklessly into the paint, can't get it to go. He scrapes himself off of the mat underneath the basket as Holden pushes into the front court. He'll get it back from Parker, now send it over right side to Abels. Dribble drive attack, nowhere to go. Gets it into Sanford, a little crow hop in the paint. He can't get the short jumper. 3.5 gone by in this first quarter of play. Senators with a 6-point advantage, their largest of the night. 3 ball on the way again for the Musketeers, and this one will go once more for Adamson. He's got 2 already. He accounts for all 6 of the Eastern points, and he's trying to keep them close from beyond the arc already. Inside, nice strong post by Harrison Sanford. Tried to give it up to Jake, and he steps on the baseline, so that'll be turnover number 2 for West Washington. 2 apiece for each ball club here as we're at the halfway point of this opening frame.
The first one we didn't close out on Adamson very well. We closed out on him that time, but is it a situation where we're so focused on Pennington and we're losing a guy? Because he's going to shoot. They're going to live, just judging by that JV game, they're going to live and die by the 3. So you got to be aware of everybody out there.
First foul tonight will be whistled against West Washington, and it'll be tagged on Caden Abels as he's trying to pick up Jeter with his speed out front. He misses another layup. Runner in the paint won't go. And now he'll get a frustration foul, reach from behind. Jeter at a whopping 5'8". I think that's probably pretty generous, more like 5'6", trying to swipe it away from 6'5" Jake Strange. Jeter will pick up his first team foul, number 3, as we dip under 4 minutes to go here in this opening quarter of play from the Ron Smith Court. 9-6 here early. Senators out in front. They've led the entire way except for that brief 3-3 tie out front. Holden on the kickback from Parker. 3 ball won't go. Senators still can't buy one from downtown to start the season. And Jeter, nice job of getting back. Caden Abel stands in and takes a player control foul from Jeter, who mows him over. And as Abels hits the deck, he gets up, fired up, and Jeter will have to sit with 2 quick ones here. 4 personals whistled against the Musketeers, and that'll bring Matt Coates, the senior, back up off the bench for Coach Gillum. 3.5 to go first quarter.
Hit the nail on the head on Jeter, that he's super quick, but he will get out of control at times as well.
Holden catches out front, goes into the high post, little step back fadeaway, left it short. Jake Strange with a big offensive rebound, hooks his way back into the paint, can't get the little floater to go. And the Musketeers will get a quick outlet into the front court. Comes Adamson, who's already knocked down a couple from beyond the arc. Swipe from behind. Let's say he lost control. Last touch by Eastern. So that'll be turnover number 3 for the Musketeers, 2 for West Washington. 5 minutes nearly gone by here in this opening period. Senators out in front, 9-6. Just hope they don't come into this ball game thinking that this is going to be an easy one after seeing Scottsburg put up 109 on Tuesday night against the Musketeers. As Parker takes it left side, nice aggressive take.
Yeah, he's being much more aggressive tonight.
We'll have foul number 5 already here on the Musketeers in this opening period. Coach Gillum not very happy with his crew defensively. And it'll send Parker Green back to the line. This will be attempts 5 and 6 already, as that one's going to go against Brannaman, and that's huge because that's his second as well. First free throw's up and good. Parker rock steady for us thus far, doing all of his damage from the charity stripe. Now 4 of 5. Second free throw after a couple of dribbles and the spin of the ball on its way, and it is good as well. Finds nothing but the bottom of the nylon.
We'll
make it now 11-6.
Little disconcerting. We need somebody just to knock down that first triple, just to open up the net.
Little run and jump trap out front. Adamson, they lose him for a second as he gathered it back in. Couldn't get the floater to go. Rebound fought for. Musketeers come out there with it, and then Holden comes up with the steal. Musketeers reckless with it. Trying to throw it to a jersey that looked purple, and instead went a little colorblind and threw it to a white jersey instead as Holden come up with the pick. 2:24 and counting. Holden with it right side. Tries to go to Parker, nearly lost the handle. Green, crossover, go back into the paint once more, left that one short, took contact, no foul. Harrison with an offensive putback off his rebound, won't go, and Coates comes out of there with it, screaming down the floor, tries a wild runner, it won't go. Senators don't want to get too much of a frenzied pace because this one can get sloppy quick.
Right.
Abels pushes though back to the other end, finds Strange, one dribble, gets into the paint, and he gets his second basket of the night as the lead gets extended now to 7 at 13-6. Back to the other end.
There he is, Pennington.
Pennington able to knock down his first triple, I believe 1 of 2 now here early on, and it's 13-9 as we tip under 2 minutes to go.
Holden
Substitution
didn't think
coming
he
up.
was going to pull up from there, but he will. That was a long triple.
He's got a quick trigger as Abels gets into the paint. Little runner will go. Little teardrop goes for Abels. He's got 4 here early on. Make it 15-9. Back and forth we go. Another 3 ball on the way for the Musketeers. This one way too strong as Adamson can't get it to go. Holden comes out with it. Feeds it in the front court. Harrison, hesitation dribble off the window for 2 more. Nice dime from Holden. As Sanford now on the board with his first 2 of the night. Make it now 17-9. Pace continues to frenzy and back to the other end. Another 3.
Adamson again.
And Adamson's got 3 triples already, trying to keep the Musketeers in it at 17-12. And Coach Sullivan calling his set that he wants as we dip under 50 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Parker takes a high screen from Jake, looks for the roll, instead takes it himself. Got fouled, no whistle. Tries to save it in under his own basket. It goes into the hands of a Musketeer. So we come up on a half minute to play. It'll come out now to Walton. He'll feed it into the front court. Has it picked though by Holden. Turnover number 5. Holden with the scoop and score off of the pick. Takes the pick 6, if you will, to the other end. Cashes in for his 4th point of the night. And it's 19-12.
Musketeers, 12 points, all by the 3.
Just what we expected from this group as we roll down to 10 seconds to go now in this first quarter, and a palming violation on Coates out front. Coach Gibson had 6 turnovers already for the Musketeers as we will see Bobby Stevens, a 5'9" sophomore, at 5 points per game, check in for his first minutes of the night. Little defensive spark plug for Coach Sullivan, as well as 5'9" senior guard Mikey Nichols, who managed 2 points from the charity stripe against Salem in the opener. Holden will have to go quick here as we close down the quarter. A little crossover on Coates. Tries to feed it out. Does. Parker, 3. In and out. No good. Tip won't go at the buzzer by Strange. And that's the way we will end this first stanza as the Senators able to lead throughout that first quarter of play with 1 tie early at 3 apiece. But they'll take a 19-12 advantage in what's been a wild frenzy first quarter. They'll carry that lead into the second when we come back. You're listening to the Senators and Musketeers here tonight on Salem's 1220 WSLM. Back with more right after this. Back to begin the second quarter of play here inside the friendly confines at Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium. After 1 quarter, Senators lead at 19-12 on the scoreboard as the Musketeers open up the second quarter with the rock. Into the paint. Quick shot off the window. Won't go for Adamson. The Senators give up an offensive board and a putback basket, I believe, by Pennington. Okay, Brannaman with the basket as he's injected back into the ballgame with those 2 personals, and the Senators sluggish start here. They give up an offensive rebound, second chance points, and then a turnover to boot as they'll try to pick up in the full court. Jeter comes back in to start the quarter with his 2 personals as well. Adamson maybe got away with a walk. He'll look to kick it out of trouble, gives it up to Jeter. Now out to Pennington. It's picked up by Bousman. 3 ball on the way. Again is good as Adamson knocks down his 4th triple already. All of his points coming from deep. Just a minute gone by here in this second quarter of play.
That's what, if you can hit them, like I said, you can live and die by them. Right now, they're living by them.
Holden gets into the paint, kicks out to Parker, who goes down low on the block to Bobby Stevens, who has his first points of the night. Nice turnaround jump shot in the post for Bobby, and another deep 3 for the Musketeers, and that one nothing but air from Pennington. 21-17. As Coach Bousman urges for a point of emphasis, wanting the hand check here on this end, as they are sticky and all over our guards out front. Nichols into the ball game, tries to get up to Holden, had it bobbled for a moment. Holden was the hero last year down at Eastern in that 1-point thriller, that win for West Washington, as he scored a career-high 18. And the Senators came away from Eastern Pekin with the 44-43 advantage. Eastern got a great crowd here tonight, Coach.
Yeah, it's a nice little crowd. Both crowds right now, they're cheering the Musketeers on with a stingy D.
Really good crowd for the season opener for the home portion of the schedule.
Oh my!
And now we're going to have a player control. That'll be another turnover as well. So the foul is going to go on Bobby Stevens. That's his first.
I could have lived with the travel call, but that wasn't a charge.
Team foul number 2, turnover number 4 on the night, as it gives the ball back over to the Musketeers. 2 minutes nearly gone by here as Coach Sullivan starts to break a sweat a little bit. 21-17. I think everybody is at this frenzied pace. Coach within the front court tries to cross over against Sanford out front. Sends it over to Adamson, now on the wing right side. Pennington will bring it back to the middle against Bousman. Gets into the paint, kicks the coach in the corner. Nowhere to go with it. Bottled up in the corner. Nice feed on the give and go to Adamson. Adamson, though, will lose the handle. And on the tie-up jump ball possession, it will go back to West Washington at the 5:48 mark.
Bobby did a nice job on the trail there. You know, they tried a little curl cut there, and Bobby did a nice job trailing, got his hands on it, and forced the jump ball.
Substitution, Connor Gonzalez, a 5'8" sophomore, will check in at 3 points per game for his first minutes of the night for Coach Gillum, as well as Parker Walton, the 6'2" senior, back into the ball game as well. 21-17, Senators in a tough battle here early on. Wild pace, pedal to the floorboard, and a nice dribble drive take on the baseline by Nichols, but nowhere to go with it. He errantly throws it away, and that's turnover number 3. Already in the quarter for West Washington, 5 overall, and Nichols will have a seat out of frustration. Chase Farmer, who was into the ball game for his first minutes of the night, he will also check out. And with a quick jumper, Walton can't get it to go. Holden gets a strong defensive board, and we'll have a whistle and a foul. This will be against the Musketeers, and that will go on Gonzalez, which will be his first personal of the night. So 5:18 to go. Senators still with a 4-point edge, and still made it at 21-17 for a little while now. 6 personals whistled against the Musketeers. So the next one, there it is, will put the Senators in the bonus for the rest of the half. And so team foul number 7 for the Musketeers comes at the 5:16 mark. Gary Brown with the call. This one will go as well on Gonzalez, which will be his second consecutive. He'll get a word from Coach Gillum on the Musketeer bench. And we'll walk to the other end where Caden Abels will go to the free throw line. Did not shoot a single free throw against Salem last Wednesday night. First one on the way for the year is good. Abels has 5.5, making out 22-17. As Parker Green will check back into the ball game, and he'll give Holden a quick breather. I'm sure a very quick breather.
Especially at 0 fouls, right?
Yeah.
Holden right now. I would expect this just to be
Abels and Stevens with 1 apiece in the foul department. That one way long, but Harrison with a nice strong offensive board. Goes up strong, has it blocked from behind, and then the Senators turn it over. Their 4th of the quarter, 6th of the half, and to the other end, Jeter with a wild shot that somehow goes. He's got his first basket of the night. Only the second 2-point field goal for the Musketeers, and it's 22-19. We dip under 5 minutes to go here in the first half. And Abels has it poked away from behind, or in front of him rather. 5th turnover of the quarter, 7th of the half. And the Musketeers score on Pennington's layup. He's got 5, and that prompts a timeout from Coach Sullivan with 4:46 to go. He has seen enough as the wheels start to spin off, and it's a 1-point game, 22-21. We'll step aside, hear a word from one of our sponsors, and come back with more second quarter action right after this word from Salem Crossing.
People make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Back out of the timeout. We'll see if both teams possibly gear this thing down. I know the Senators probably not liking this pace right now. Not that they can't get out and run, but choosing wisely when to do it and how to do it, how to attack in transition. And Coach Gillum will get some clarification from Gary Brown. And says we're all good as the ball was poked away. It'll stay with West Washington. Parker inbound. He made a living coming in off of that inbound pass, and there he is again as Bobby tries to feed him. He throws it away. Turnover number 6 of the quarter and the 8th now of the half as Jeter will try a 3 from the corner. That one long, no good. Offensive rebound though for Walton. He can't get the put back, and now a tie-up as Parker goes to the floor. And Gonzalez tied up with him, comes over to try to help him up, but 2 other Senators beat him to the punch. And here comes Holden back into the ball game. Didn't get much of a rest. 4:21 to go here before the half. Senators clinging to a 1-point lead as Bob will have a seat. Stevens out. And Bousman back in with Abels, Green, Sanford, and Strange, the original starting 5 for Coach Sullivan. They miss on the back screen there on the little wraparound. Pennington, who came free for a moment. Holden was stuck trailing. Walton with it, left baseline, kicks it out to Jeter. He's picked up now by Abels. Good matchup with size and speed between those two. Adamson, though, will kick it out. Deep 3. Walton able to knock one down, so he gets into the act. That is now 6 triples in the half for the Musketeers, and they have their first lead at 24-22. Holden able to get into the paint. And Jeter is going to pick up his 3rd as he took a little karate chop to the throat. I don't know how much of that was a flair for drama or not. Acts like he can't hardly breathe. He took a shot from Holden, but that's what happens when you get into somebody's collar on their jersey. You run that risk as Holden was trying to clear some space, and Brandeman will come back in with those 2 personals. Holden to the free throw line. First one is up and good. He was 1 of 3 at Salem last Wednesday night, so trying to up his average for the year as Walton will have a seat.
Knock on wood, the free throws have been a little bit better experience for the Senators this game.
Oh, I'm blaming you on that one. You did it that time as Holden misses the second. Sanford gets another offensive board. Nice feed, and Jake can't finish. Musketeers, though, lose the handle. Their 7th turnover. Holden's floater won't go. Rebound fought for, and Coates comes out of there with it. Pace still frenzied. Into the front court. 3. Pennington, corner, in and out, no good. Rebound fought for, and that one last touch as Holden tried to soar over the back of Gonzalez for the rebound. Be last touch by Holden. 3:28 to go before the half.
Tell you what, they're letting a really physical play down here on this end. There were 2 fouls right there on that last possession.
Branneman catches on the inbounds. Misses at point-blank range. Sanford quickly pushes into the front court to Abels, who had it stripped away. Nice hustle play by Coates. And as Coach Gibson just alluded to, they're letting these guys get out and be a little physical with one another. Good knock away from behind, though, by the senior Coates. Box set again. And it will be Green to inbound. They get Jake on the cross-court seal on the block. He blows another bunny opportunity, but Parker there to get the offensive board and clean it up. That's his first field goal of the night. He's done most of his damage, as we said, from the charity stripe. The Senators back out in front now at 25-24. Coach thought about three, nearly lost the handle, looking for a back cut. Can't find anybody, turns it over. Eighth turnover rather of the half for the Musketeers, and Sanford able to steal it, go the other way for two. So Sanford now with 4 points on the night. 27-24. Adamson with his 5th triple of the half. Somebody better guard that boy. 27 apiece, our second tie of the night. Still a frenzied pace. Abel's able to get in, left a little floater short, got his own offensive rebound. Parker for three. It still won't go. Senators still with a lid on the basket from downtown. Nearly come up with the steal, and this thing's just a chaotic mess right now as Gonzalez gets into the front court. Coach, I don't like this pace. This is not Senator basketball. This is not us. 29-27, second lead of the night for the Musketeers.
Yeah, it's obviously, especially the way they're playing, letting them play a little bit physical, but at some point we got to knock a shot down.
We have a whistle and a foul. Basket will be good on the delayed signal. So the foul's going to go on Adamson. The guy with the hot hand, a little too hot on the defensive end, so he couldn't keep hands off. Coates is going to come out and get a break. Adamson will catch a breather as well as he picked up his first. That's team foul number 9, though. And Parker to the line for the and one opportunity. He's had a big first half so far. And he couldn't get point 10, but he gets his own offensive rebound off the miss on the tip out. Ball ping-ponged around for just a moment. Abels kicks it back out top to Sanford. He goes left side to Holden. Heat check, he'll pull. That one won't go from downtown. And Parker there to fight for the rebound with Gonzalez, and it'll be last touched by Connor Gonzalez. So the Senators will keep it with 1:35 to go here in the first half. Box set again, little screen across. And Holden will catch, and on the fly, couldn't get it to go, but Jake Strange with an offensive rebound and put back over everyone. He's got 6. Make it now 31-29.
Yeah, see if we can't get a stop here.
Coming off of our third tie. Back to the other end. 3 ball will not go for Tucker Chisholm, fresh into the ball game, but the Musketeers come up with an offensive board and then a turnover. Their 9th of the half. Eastern can't keep track of the ball either, and Parker Green with a little stop and pop just inside the right elbow. Make it now 33-29. Pennington to the other end, rises, fires, little jumper from 10 feet away on the baseline. Won't go. 2-on-1 break, nice speed and assist. Abel to Bausman as he gets the little smooch off the window for 2, and it's 35-29. And the rally caps are on. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout charged to the Musketeers. Coach Gillen will have 3 fulls remaining. 45.4 on the clock before the halftime break. Again, reminder, we'll have our Senator halftime report brought to you by McDonald's on South Main Street in Salem as they undergo some new renovations, and they've totally gutted the lobby area. Of course, the drive-thru is still open. Be sure to stop in after the game. Check out one of their mini signature sandwiches, their dollar soft drinks, and more, as the Coach's Corner show has been moved to the studios on Radio Ridge for the first few weeks of the season until the renovations are complete. Coach's Corner on Wednesday night starting at 8 o'clock. Again, normally at McDonald's, but they will not be on McDonald's venue or on their lot until the renovations are complete. Coming up on 40 seconds to play here in the first half. Musketeers have it out front. Gonzalez with it. Feeds it off now right side. Pennington back to Gonzalez on the left. Under 30 seconds to play. Chisholm with it out top. His first minutes of the night coming here in the second quarter, and the Musketeers turn it over, their 10th of the half. Holden thought about a stop and pop. He kicks it cross court. Parker thought about pulling the trigger but does not. We roll up on 10 seconds to play. 35-29. Abel's nice feed in the paint, and he's going to get called for the player control charge. Didn't stop soon enough before he could dish it off to Jake Strange. That'll be Abel's second personal. Both of them player controls.
Bill Walton would say jump stop, bounce pass, and then something about Mount Rushmore.
Oh, boy. Turnover number 7 of the quarter for West Washington. Their 9th of the half. Abels will check out. Bobby Stevens back in. 8.9 on the clock. 35-29. Senators in front by 6.
Would have been nice to have that last shot. You know, we talked a lot about that last year, taking the last shot of the half.
Trying to do a Belichick and maybe steal some possessions. His coach goes wildly into the paint. And this will be a whistle and a foul against the boys in white. And this one will go on Parker Green. 1.7 on the clock. That'll send the senior Matt Coates to the free throw line. Coach averages 15 a game for the Musketeers.
4. Do we have anybody with 2, or is it just 4 players with 1?
Abels.
Abels has 2.
4th personal against West Washington in the half. Again, Parker just his first of the night. As Coach steps to the line for the first free throw of the night for the Musketeers. Makes it 35-30. That's Coach's first point of the night. Second free throw on the way. That one way long. Strange with the rebound. Parker from three-quarter court. He'll let it fly into the bleachers at the other end, and that's the way this first half will come to a close. 35-30 here at the halftime break. Senators will go into the locker room with the lead, but it has been a Wild West shootout through the first 16 minutes of play. We'll step aside, take a break, hear a word from some of our sponsors, and we will come back with our Senator Halftime Report brought to you by McDonald's on South Main Street in Salem. You're listening to the Senators and Musketeers on your leader for Southern Indiana sports coverage, WSLM 1220 on the AM dial.
For 80 years, Eddie Gilstrap Motors in Salem has made thousands of both car and truck shoppers, car and truck buyers. And that commitment to customer sales and service continues to pay off. It's more than low prices and incentives and service after the sale. You've been hearing that for the second year in a row, they've been awarded the 2017 Ford President's Award. I mean, to win something that only 340 Ford dealerships across the country out of over 5,000, well, that's pretty special, wouldn't you say? The President's Award is based upon achieving the highest level of customer sales, service satisfaction, and overall experience. And the credit not only goes to manager Steve Motzinger and his entire staff, but to you, the buying public. If you've already purchased a new or pre-owned Ford, car, truck, or SUV from Eddie Gilstrap Motors, you already know what we mean. Congratulations from everyone at WSLM Radio. Eddie Gilstrap Motors, your #1 choice. On the web at EddieGilstrapMotorsINC.com.
We're here at McDonald's Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup and the We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside from 4 a.m. to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
And we're back here to the Ron Smith Court where it is halftime. Ready to begin our Senator Halftime Report brought to you by McDonald's on South Main Street in Salem. And night here. Good season opener at home, at least for the home portion of the schedule. $25 in my pocket, Coach Gibson, on the Chuck-a-Duck
Is this
first.
Chuck-a-Duck? Or,
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to shoot the half court.
No, that's Tim Woods out on the floor right now shooting our half-court
I think
shot.
Tim has won this before.
And that one a little off, a little wide left off the glass. Will not go, but what a nice way to
Keep
start
the
the
elbow
home.
in, like you did on Chuck-a-Duck. You know, you cut the elbow in, you finished with a nice little gooseneck.
Well, there's an art to this. There's a secret. And people think that maybe me and Coach Bousman practice a little bit at school from time to time. That is not the case, but there is an art to Chuck-a-Duck. It's all in the ones that you pick. There's certain ones.
Do you like the fireman or the police officer?
Well, there's certain ones that have certain hats that give you a certain advantage on the roll.
Oh, is that right?
Now,
So,
I can't tell you which ones because then my
probably,
secret's
if you wanted a nice little
gone.
roll, probably needs to have a little bucket hat or a visor of some sort, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, I just said.
Oh, we're not supposed to give this
I
out.
just said you can't give away the secret.
Oh, well, I'm just guessing.
Okay. All right.
After the first Chuck-a-Duck of the year last year, I gave it up. I tore my rotator cuff throwing it. I think mine was a goose instead of a duck. I didn't. There's a little bit too much weight on there for me. So.
Too much shoulder work in that Chuck-a-Duck.
I was
for Coach
expecting
Gibson.
a duck, and it was like a Canadian goose. So.
Hey, here's the deal, though. I'll pick up the slack for us, and we'll take this $25 and invest it maybe in some grub on the way back from Lagodi tomorrow night.
Yeah, going to Jack Butcher Arena, is that right?
The famed Jack Butcher Arena tomorrow night. But right now, the Senators in a battle. 35-30 here at the halftime break. Let's run down the scoring, some statistics individually for both of these ball clubs. First for the visiting Musketeers, they're led at the half by Ryan Adamson, who lit it up from downtown. 5 triples in the first half for Adamson on his way to a 15-point first half performance. Rhett Pennington chips in 5. He nailed a triple as well in that first quarter of play. Tevin Jeter with 2, although he battled foul trouble, picked up that third against Holden there late in the second quarter. 1 point for Matt Coates coming off of that free throw there at the end of the half. And then 2 for Todd Brannaman, who also battled some foul trouble in the first half of action. Parker Walton, Tucker Chisholm, Connor Gonzalez all play for Coach Gillum in that first half. Walton chips in a 3-point basket in the second quarter. Connor Gonzalez with 2. Tucker Chisholm goes scoreless. Musketeers in the first half, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Those coming from Coates with 1.7 to play before the intermission. So the Musketeers just 1 of 2 for 50% through the first 16 minutes of action with 10 turnovers to boot, 6 of those 10 coming in the first quarter of play. Meanwhile, for the West Washington Senators at the half, they own the 35-30 advantage. They're led at the half by the 11-point effort of Parker Green. He's already near his season average. He had 13 against the Lions in the season opener on the road. Holden Bousman chips in 7 in the first half of play, including 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Abels goes with 5 points, including a couple of 2-point field goals there early on as he got into the scoring act. We mentioned Parker with the 11 points. He has shot 7 free throws and went 5 of 7 in that first half from the stripe. Harrison Sanford chips in a couple of 2-point field goals as well for his 4 points, and Jake Strange with 6 points in the first half. Bobby Stevens, Mikey Nichols, and Chase Farmer play off the bench for Coach Sullivan in that first half of action. Stevens chips in 2. Nichols and Farmer play limited minutes and are unable to find their scoring ways. Senators go 7 of 10 overall from the stripe in that first half of action for 70%, but they give up too many turnovers, 9 in fact. Otherwise, this may be a much different score here at the intermission. After 1 quarter of play, Senators led at 19-12, but then they get outscored 18-16 in that second quarter and cling to a 35-30 advantage here at the halftime break. Coach, you got some other team statistics for us.
We talked about it at the beginning of the game. One of your keys, big men, right? Dominating the boards right now. You know, we're 22 for the Senators to 12 for the Musketeers, 11 offensive boards. You know, we're missing a lot of the putbacks. We talked about, dominate the boards with the size advantage. That gives you a chance for second chance points. But, we've missed a few. But so Senators dominating the rebounding edge, 22-12. Shooting percentages for the Musketeers, 4 of 13 inside the arc for 31%. behind the arc. And then when that's where they make their living, and we knew that coming in, 7 of 12 for 58.3%. And that goes against, the Senators are 0 of 5, 0 of 8 total against Salem. Start out this half 0 of 5 from behind the arc. So the Senators need somebody desperately to break that seal and to hit a triple to get, the confidence going. But again, Senators 0 of 5 from behind the arc. But they did shoot 50% inside the arc. I'm always harping on that. It seems like for the last year about being able to make at least 50% of your twos, because you don't see a whole lot of 10 to 12 foot jump shots anymore. Your 2-point shots are mostly inside the lane, and you got to hit at least 50. Well, the Senators hit on exactly 50%, 14 of 28. So for a total of 42%, Musketeers 44. So shooting's about the same, only both teams doing it in a different way. The Senators use that helter-skelter pace to get a lot of layups. Eastern, like we knew they would, bombing the triples, 7 of 12. So this we need to lock in here. This is going to be a heck of a second half.
So the Senators still unable to find their footing from downtown. 0 of 13 now on the year from beyond the arc. We'll see if that trend changes here in the third quarter of play, which is about set to resume. We'll take a quick break here from a sponsor. We'll come back with our second half of action right after this.
Ace is the place with the help of hardware, folks. Join Ace Hardware of Salem for a jolly good time Saturday, December 1st. From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., Santa Claus will be here to enjoy cookies and cocoa and listen to Christmas wishes. Kids, families, and pets are all welcome to take their photo with Santa before he heads out. This free event is sponsored by your locally owned Ace Hardware. Find event details at facebook.com/Ace Hardware of Salem.
Back to begin the third quarter of play. And so got a little confusion in the scorebook. We're going to try to clean up that mess here. Coach Gibson thinks that we've got a basket on the wrong person here. So we'll see if we can't get it sorted out as we start the third quarter of play. Who wouldn't have something messed up after that crazy first half, and a nice feed as they get Parker on the back cut to start the third quarter of action. Again, now 37-30. Parker in double figures.
The mythical Jake Strange assist right there. That was a nice pass by Jake.
Half minute into this third quarter, 37-30. Senators trying to defend the deep ball, and they just can't. Another step back. Pennington over Bousman. He's got 8 now in the game. Does Pennington his second triple of the night, make it 37-33. Poke away across the way, and the Senators will have to reset as Abel's unable to keep the handle. The bench maybe rolled his ankle, so turnover number 11 for the Musketeers. And Holden now with at least 9. We'll get this figured out. Coach.
Yeah, that's right. I have him for 9. I have
okay,
the same
so
as you. I don't know where I'm messed up somewhere.
Okay. If you're going to admit the blame, that means I don't have to? Is that the way
Yeah,
that
that's right.
works?
I'll take that one. that pace was so crazy.
Oh, nice soar into the air as Holden pulls down the defensive board, feeds it to the front court. Parker thought about a 3 instead. He'll take the dribble drive into the paint, and Coach Sullivan pleading for a foul. Can't get it, and Pennington quickly comes back to the other end. Gives it up to Adamson, who had that hot hand again. 5 triples, and a nice job of standing in for a charge as Jake Big Dog Strange.
It's nice, a lot of big men, especially young men, want to just go up and block that shot. They're wanting to. That's a nice little play. He was totally set, knew what was coming. That's discipline for a young big man.
He stood in and took the contact, and for Adamson, that'll be his second personal. Team foul number 1 for either team here in the half, and that'll be a turnover as well, their 12th of the night. Parker into the front court, gives it off now to Holden, right side. He's picked up by Gonzalez. Crosses him over, now comes off of a screen from Drake. Now pick and roll out top, and Big Dog Strange able to finish as Holden drops a dime to him, and he's able to flush it into the piggy bank. As Jake now has 8 on the night, make it 41-33. As the Musketeers come up dry on that trip.
It was 40. Brandon.
Nice feed into the front court. Holden and one. Once more to the big man. Holden to Strange, the connection once more. Another dime in the piggy bank.
That's 6.
Holden dropping dimes, stealing, tries almost a LeBron-esque effort here, trying to go maybe for a triple-double effort here tonight. He's certainly well on his way at this pace, because he's doing it all, not just scoring, but also swiping the rock and dishing it as well. Jake now with 10 on the night, and he's got 11. How about that? Jake Strange makes his first free throw attempt of the night, make it now 44-33.
Another steal by Bowsman. Surveying the court, another nice dime.
And this one goes to Harrison Sanford, and Sanford now with 6 and a timeout on the floor. Coach Gillum's seen enough. It'll have to be a full timeout on the floor with 5:34 to go here in the third quarter of play. Senators lead has ballooned to their largest of the night, 46-33. We'll step aside, take a break, hear a word from a sponsor, and come back with more right after this.
With the very best gifts from the very best brands, Ace makes finding the perfect present easier than ever. Wow your family with new and innovative gifts from the Grommet. Or give Dad something he'll really love from his favorite brands like Craftsman, Weber, Traeger, and Yeti. Plus, make your holiday less hectic and save time by buying your gifts online and picking them up in store for free. So this holiday, take everything you love about Christmas and wrap it in red. Only at your neighborhood Ace.
Perhaps finding some breathing room here in the third quarter of play. 2.5 minutes into this third quarter, as Coach Gillum forced to burn his third timeout, and he's wanting the pace to pick back up. They like that wild shootout pace as Coates gets it. He's double teamed on the wing, gives it up to Adamson as the Senator defense now starting to ratchet up the pressure. Coates thinks about a three. He'll fly a three. That one in and out, no good, and we'll have a foul on the follow through. And Coach Sullivan will disagree with Gary Brown's whistle.
Shot.
And this one.
After the shot, right.
And that one's going to go on Parker Green, his second, team foul number 1 on the Senators of the half. Musketeers have committed 2, and Coach to the free throw line. The ball doesn't lie, though, Coach. That one well after the shot in the follow through.
Yeah, you could probably tell I wasn't real happy with that. Sorry, Radio Land. I was talking to the official there. When
I had the mic muted, so you're good. Coates hits the second, giving 2 now on the night. Makes it 46-34. Third one on the way is good, so it's 2 out of 3. Make it 46-35 as we roll up on the 5-minute mark here in this third quarter of action. Bowsman will bring it to the front court, leave it off right side on the wing to Green. He'll look for a high screen from Strange. Takes it, gives it back to him now on a give and go, and he blows an open layup. But Harrison Sanford right there with an offensive board and putback. And Sanford has been wiping the glass clean here tonight, but to the other end, count it in one. Are you kidding me? Woo! Adamson from deep in front of Coach Gillum on that right wing. Got fouled in the process, drained it, and we'll have a chance for a rare 4-point play opportunity as Adamson knocks down his 6th triple of the night, Coach.
And what was the record last week?
9 of 17.
He's on record
and that
pace.
was for Pennington. Adamson connects, a rare 4-point play opportunity, and a big chance here for the Musketeers. As Coach Bowsman is starting to get riled up, as you can hear, I'm sure, behind us, 48-39. The double-digit lead erased, and Holden trying to answer with a pull-up jumper just inside the free throw line. It won't go. Adamson back to the other end. To be picked up by Green. Gets to the hoop. Can't get the finish. And Green comes out of there with it. Parker racing into the front court. Right side. Holden thought about three. Goes in. Leaves it off for Green underneath. He's fouled. He cannot finish, but great court vision by the point man, Holden Bousman, to find his buddy in the backcourt and his classmate, Parker Green, as they've done so many times before. And it'll be a trip to the free throw line once more for Parker's. We'll see Mikey Nichols check in after this first free throw. Parker in that first half able to get to the line 7 times, knocked down 5 of 7, hits this first one. By my count now, he's got 14 on the night.
Agreeing with you, because they are starting to muck it up a little bit again, you know. And I was like, okay, let's go play tempo. I like our tempo, but you're right, not the messy helter-skelter tempo, and that's what they're trying to do to us again.
Jeter back into the ball game as the ankle appears to be healed up now, and Parker couldn't get the second one to go. Make it 49-39. Musketeers back on the attack. Gonzalez dribble drive into the paint, and he'll be fouled.
That might be Harrison's second. Right.
And so we got 3 personals against the Musketeers. That last one was on Pennington for Eastern. And Harrison will pick this one up out front. That'll be his second personal of the night, as Coach said. So 3 personals apiece for each team. Nice spin move. Adamson into the paint. Had it blocked, I believe, by Holden instead of Jake.
Yeah, I think it was Jake. Holden got the rebound.
Holden may have got a piece of it too on that spin move halfway home here in the third quarter. Another high screen opportunity out front. This time Mikey will roll off the screen, stops, pops, left it short. Gonzalez comes out of there with it. He'll push with Adamson, feeds it cross court instead to Coates. He goes in wildly into the paint, can't get the shot to go. Ball will be tipped away and it'll stay with the Musketeers. 3:46 to play in the third. 49-39 your score. Adamson to inbound. Brannaman will check in. Seen a lot more fight out of Coach Gillum's club here tonight than what they probably seen out of them in the rout 58-point loss at home on Tuesday night.
But they did come back from 18 in week 1, you know,
this
against
is true.
Borden.
Coates into the paint. Can't get another bunny to fall. And on the leak out, Holden tries to gather it in and saves it. Saves the possession to Parker. Back to Holden. Deep 3. Couldn't get it to go. Senators still can't buy one from downtown, but how about Mikey Nichols there to clean it up on the offensive glass, and he's got his first points of the night on the putback attempt. 51-39.
That was just 1-2.
3 ball on the way. Wild hop off the back iron, won't go. Jake
Adamson
Strange with the leak out as Sanford grabs it, gathers it in, feeds it cross court. Nichols in the paint to Strange, and we'll have a foul on the floor before the shot attempt. We'll see some wholesale exchanges here. 3:07 to play. 51-39. Foul will be on Brannaman, and they'll have to probably get him out of there. It'll be team foul number 4 on the Musketeers. Gonzalez will check out instead, but that's the 4th on Brannaman. I don't know if Coach Gillum realizes that. Strange will check out as well as Harrison Sanford. So the 2 bigs out, going small ball here with Farmer, Bousman, Green, and underneath, Green can't get the putback to go. Stevens out there as well. And Parker thought about 3. He'll dribble drive and he'll be fouled before he can get to the basket. This will be team foul number 5. So foul issues starting to wear on Coach Gillum's bench here just a little bit. And that's going to be on Brannaman. And I guess Coach Gillum didn't realize that was his 4th earlier. He just picked up another one and he's gone. So Brannaman will have to check out. He'll be disqualified on his 5th personal of the night. His night will finish with just 2 points. He'll sit down out of frustration on the inbounds. Bobby gets it, goes into the paint, couldn't get the finish off the glass, fights for his own rebound. Jersey's on the floor, purple and white, and Jeter will get to the front court and finish with a layup. Holden didn't want to give up the foul. Jeter's got his second basket, make it 51-41. Back to a 10-point game. Senators not in the clear just yet. Into the front court. Parker gives it up now to Holden, works against Jeter, back to Green. Tries to find Holden, cut through the paint, can't do it. Green will go behind the back, get into the paint, get fouled, get the ball back as he's able to gather it in. Had it taken away for a moment, or bobbled around at least. And Parker now with
reflection or something. I don't know.
Parker with 16 by my count. 3 ball in and out will not go for Coates. 2-minute warning here in the third as Bobby clears up the defensive glass, and we'll slow it up as Nichols gives it off to Holden. Under 2 minutes to play. Right side, Jeter picks up Holden. Give it off to Nichols. He'll take a screen out front by Farmer. They wanted an illegal screen. Nichols loses the handle, gives it up to Stevens. Now to Farmer, pump fake. And Farmer misses the bunny underneath. There's Parker in on the offensive glass. He can't finish. And coming out there with it is Adamson. No need to foul here. Minute and a half to go. Coach Gillum says, let's push the pace here. And this one will be a blocking foul as Holden couldn't get in position quick enough against Coates. And we're back to this wild pace, kind of wily coyote roadrunner pace, if you will. 53-41, 12-point game. Coates will go back to the free throw line. And this will be team foul number 4 whistled against the Senators. Musketeers have committed 5, and this is probably the 3rd time we've had confusion on numbers from this crew reporting the fouls.
I wonder if that was that a Brannaman case too? You think they reported a wrong number at some point, and that's why Coach Gillum didn't know?
Perhaps. So foul's going to go on Holden. That's just his first of the night. But again, team foul number 4. Parker's going to get a well-deserved breather here at the end of the quarter. See if Coach Sullivan can steal a minute and a half worth of rest for him.
But if things get sloppy, I don't know if you can take the whole 133. You can't let them make a big run here.
Coates is able to connect on 1 of 2. And then we're going to get an offensive foul in the backcourt as Jeter was all up in the jersey of Holden, and they're going to get him for the clear out. Gary Brown with the call. And Papa Bausman not happy with that whistle as that's his second back-to-back fouls for Holden. And that's a turnover as well, so that's turnover number 11 for West Washington. And Coach Sullivan will now try to, I need to give Coach Bausman a headset. It sounds like Friday nights in the fall on the sideline. 24, Matt Coates into the paint, can't get the little runner to go. Stevens clears it out, and then he'll be fouled as he lost the handle, and this thing's starting to get a little wild and a little rough,
That's
Coach.
why I said I don't know if I would keep these guys out this one. 116. I know you need a little rest, but this is getting too sloppy.
So we'll try to clear things up here.
That's a big difference, go into the 4th quarter with an 11-point lead,
yep.
Or if it gets sloppy and it ends up being a 6-point lead. Big difference.
The foul was on Walton. His first, team foul number 6. And Holden trying to sell the personal on Jeter, who was all over him again. They find Farmer, and Nichols overthrows it. We had him wide open. Kind of reminds me of Dak Prescott overthrowing, I think it was Gallup last night, maybe down the sideline, had him on a hitch it go and overthrew a wide open receiver. There Nichols overthrows Farmer on the give and go. Turnover number 12 of the night for West Washington. They'll go a spread attack here. I doubt this Eastern team's likely to hold for 1 though, with 50 seconds plus on the clock here in the 3rd. Adamson gets into the paint, kicks it out to Coates.
That was much of a charge as Holden's.
Back out front, Adamson with it, gives it up in the corner. Pennington's 3 won't go. Rebound cleared out by Nichols. And Coach Sullivan says, let's slow this thing up a little bit, shock the brakes. Half minute to play. Senators will go into their 3-man weave out front, spread the floor. Coach Sullivan says, what are you doing, getting that deep into the paint? Holden will take it, though, instead, all the way to the hoop and score off the window. We like that one instead. Holden with 11 now in the ball game.
Don't do anything silly.
55-42. And Senator fans wanted to travel. Animated group here behind us, and then a wild take. And it's going to be
Oh my gosh! You're kidding. Bailed him out.
This one's going to go.
Oh my gosh! Awful.
Okay, let's reset this. Foul will go on Farmer. Chase Farmer picks up his first. That's team foul number 6 on the shot attempt. Pennington to the free throw line. Again, ball doesn't lie. He's looking for point number 9. Didn't get it on that first attempt.
Got to make sure you check out here.
No kidding. 4.7 on the clock here in the third. That one goes off the front iron and rattles home. 9 for Pennington. 55-33. Holden from half court, just long. And we will roll into the fourth, folks. I know I say this often, but especially tonight, you better make sure that seatbelt is buckled and fastened tight, because this one has been wild up to this point. Rolling into the fourth, 55-43. Senators enjoying a 12-point edge. 8 minutes to go in regulation. We'll come back with that fourth quarter right after this word from one of our sponsors.
After a joint surgery, injury, or illness, Meadowview and Salem Crossing are the best choices for helping you recover. Our Moving Forward rehabilitation program offers a full range of therapies. We're here to help you return home safely with the skills you need to live life on your own terms. Meadowview and Salem Crossing, 2 great options for your rehabilitation. To learn more, visit asccare.com or call 888-996-8272.
To the Ron Smith court we go. Fourth quarter set to begin, and it will be Senator basketball out of the quarter break. What a wild frenzy. First 3 quarters here. 24 minutes in the books, and every one of them just as wacky as can be.
Musketeer ball.
Okay, so Musketeers will have it, out of the break. As Coates has it out front. Turnover for the Musketeers to begin the quarter. And nice feed as Holden's able to finish off the feed from Sanford. Holden now with 13 in the ball game, make it 57-43. Deep 3 from the corner will not go for Walton. And Holden able to come out of there with it. Holden's taking a beat here tonight. Underneath, we're going to have a turnover as Abel steps on the baseline. Unforced turnover. That's turnover number 4 of the half, and now 13th in the ball game.
And like you said, unforced errors. Those are the ones that are tough to stomach.
Senators back to work defensively here, up 57-43, and to the other end.
Adamson, maybe?
Musketeers, yep. Musketeers able to answer back with another 2-point field goal. Cuts the deficit to 12 at 57-45. Substitution forthcoming. Pennington will check back into the ball game for the Senators to open the quarter. They go underneath. Jake Strange on the nice feed from Holden. Another assist for him. Strange able to get the finish. And
is this Jeter again? Oh, no. I was going to say, if this is Jeter again, man, I'm going to lose it.
Gonzalez took the shot. He caught a shot in the high cheekbone area. I was thinking he wants an orbital fracture delivered from a guy that's 6'5" when you're only standing at
that was pretty
a whopping 5'8".
That catch, turn, and shot was pretty impressive for a sophomore big.
And the Senators come up with yet another steal. They're forced 15 turnovers here tonight for the Musketeers. And back and forth they go here. Ball ping-pongs around. Holden can't get the shot to fall. And finally, some sanity brought by the whistle to stop play. 6:36 to go in regulation. It's a 14-point lead at 59-45. Senators open the quarter with Green, Bousman, Sanford, Abels, and Strange, the original 5 for Coach Sullivan. As Sanford gets knocked into the front row of bleachers. Able to split 2 cheerleaders. Goes right in between them, crashes into the bottom row. And this will be team foul number 7 against the Musketeers in the half, so we'll walk to the other end.
How many times have we said free throws are big? It's a bunch, was the answer. Was this officials?
Yeah, we have a... Well, nobody signaled yet. Let's see what we got. It'll be a full timeout on the floor. And he never signaled who called the timeout. That may have been I don't know, it may have been a Coach Sullivan timeout.
TV timeout?
TV timeout may be the case as well. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Senators on Salem's 1220.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Clarification from the scorer's bench, that was a timeout for Coach Sullivan. His second full timeout, so he should have a full and 2:30s in his pocket down the stretch. 6:24 to go here in the fourth. And again, you know, we talked about it in the pregame. This is a group that's kind of built a resume and their pedigree on getting out, forcing turnovers, getting buckets in transition. But tonight, not the type of transition game that we're comfortable playing and that we're suited for.
It's, like I said, a helter. I know it's weird to say, but yeah, it's a helter-skelter game where it's just kind of bodies flying everywhere. And, you know, we were more of a, you know, watching them as younger kids, it's more of a smooth transition tempo type team.
Yep.
And this team wants to muck it up, make it dirty, make it, you know, not as in dirty play, but just make things just kind of unclear and just make things, you know, people crashing to the floor. That's how they want to play. That's not how the Senators like to play.
So Walton's second personal is team foul 7, and before the timeout from Coach Sullivan, he's going to send Sanford to the free throw line. That's his first free throw attempt, soaks it. Gets one more on the back end of the bonus opportunity, and that one is long off the back iron. Offensive rebound, though, again for the Senators who've worked the offensive glass. Harrison gets 2, gets a third. And finally, the Musketeers come out of there with it. Jeter catches, though, on a long home run ball into the front court. He misses. Jake now comes down with the rebound. And it's Abels who'll be fouled, perhaps by Gonzalez, on team foul number 8. Absolute chaos again in an exchange. Gonzalez will pick up his third. Again, team foul number 8, and we'll walk to the other end.
I'm at a loss for what was happening down here. Were there not like
Harrison,
3 fouls
Harrison
there?
had 3 offensive putback opportunities off of 3 boards. Couldn't get any of them to go before Eastern come away with one. As Abels will walk to the other end. He's 2 for 2 now on the night. Excuse me, 2 of 3.
Nice.
Make it now 3 of 4. 62-45, largest lead of the night for West Washington. Trying to hold on here as we dip under 6 minutes to play. And Abels on a tie-up on the dribble drive by the Musketeers. He'll be whistled for the foul. Senator fans thought he caught it clean. Abels will pick up his third. Team foul number 7. So both teams in the bonus the rest of the way home. Nothing like prolonging a 100-meter dash. And that's what this has been. At quick, back and forth. Sprinter's pace here tonight.
Oh, boy.
That one.
Shooter's
wow.
touch.
That one hit the back iron, died on the back of the rim on the spring box. And this crew.
What is happening?
Well, Gary Brown didn't know if it was 2 shots, if it was 1-on-1, what the situation was. This crew needs to probably wake up here a little bit. As Musketeers able to come up with a steal off the Senator turnover. Is that Gonzalez with the basket?
With the steal.
He's got 4 on the night.
What is that? How is that not a foul?
Make it 62-49.
I was thinking intentional.
You'd have to be here to believe it. Parker with a pull-up jumper, draws nothing but air on the kick-out. Abels 3, could it be? No. Big offensive rebound, no, for Sanford. Off the glass, puts it back in. Harrison all over the offensive board. Mr. Windex, 64-49. Jeter to the other end, has it blocked from behind. And then they're going to say Abel stepped on the baseline. Turnover number 6 for West Washington in the half. And that's the 15th.
I'm not sure what these guys are seeing. They need a break. They need an official timeout because these guys are awful right now.
Walton gets it.
Travel.
Pump fake and couldn't finish against Strange. He clears the defensive glass, and Coach Gillum hands through the hair out of frustration. And Abel's now getting to the paint, leaves it off for Strange, who bobbles it around, tips it out to Parker, and Senators now going to try to slow things out. Coach Sullivan says let's slow it up. 64-49, that's under 5 minutes to go. Abels breaks the ankles and leaves it underneath for Jake Strange, who finishes with 2 more. Jake, the recipient of a lot of passes at point-blank range.
Caden's had a really nice ball game.
And the Senators come up with a steal off the turnover. Abels with the steal, feeds it to Green, off the glass for 2 more. And the Senators now pouring it on strong, 68-49, their largest lead of the night, a 19-point advantage. As we roll up on the halfway point here of this 4th quarter, Bobby Stevens to check in, next dead ball. And Adamson couldn't connect from downtown, but the Musketeers come out of there with it. Pennington rises, fires, baseline jumper's good left side. And that's now 11 for Pennington. Timeout on the floor will be called by Coach Gillum and the Musketeers. With 4:11 to play in regulation, we'll step aside, take a break here, a word from the sponsor, and we'll come back with more right after this.
For 80 years, Eddie Gilstrap Motors in Salem has made thousands of both car and truck shoppers, car and truck buyers. And that commitment to customer sales and service continues to pay off. It's more than low prices and incentives and service after the sale. You've been hearing that for the 2nd year in a row, they've been awarded the 2017 Ford President's Award. I mean, to win something that only 340 Ford dealerships across the country out of over 5,000, well, that's pretty special, wouldn't you say? The President's Award is based upon achieving the highest level of customer sales, service satisfaction, and overall experience. And the credit not only goes to manager Steve Motzinger and his entire staff, but to you, the buying public. If you've already purchased a new or pre-owned Ford, car, truck, or SUV from Eddie Gilstrap Motors, you already know what we mean. Congratulations from everyone at WSLM Radio. Eddie Gilstrap Motors, your #1 choice. On the web at EddieGilstrapMotorsINC.com.
We're here at McDonald's Gymnasium.
And back to action here. Senators with a turnover out of the break. As Eastern was unable to capitalize off the turnover, they were able to swipe it away from Holden. And then a foul on Eastern out of frustration after they couldn't capitalize. Parker Green will walk to the other end. This will be team foul number 9 whistled against the Musketeers. 4 minutes to go in this one. 68-51. As we walk to the other end, Coates picks up his 2nd personal. Parker Green, a big night for him. He's able to soak the first. Had 11 by my count in the first half. And 8 in this half, already looking for 9. So this would give him an even 20. And a good start to the campaign this season for Parker's. That one left short. 69-51. Adamson has it picked away by Holden. And Holden races to the other end for 2 more. Wheels spinning off for Coach Gillum's club. Holden now with 8.5 and 15 in the contest. 71-51.
Go along with 9 assists and 6 steals.
Holden trying to get that triple-double. They have a little bit of work to do, though, with 3:36 to go. Stoppage of play, and Bobby Stevens into the ball game with Holden, Parker, Abels, and Strange. And we'll see if Nichols checks in. He will, but not before the dead ball opportunity expires. Coates gets into the paint. Nice adjustment on the fly. Couldn't get the little layup to fall, and the Senators will push in transition. Nice feed to Strange, and he can't finish. But a nice offensive putback opportunity for Bobby, who couldn't finish. So Bobby and Jake each get an offensive putback, and bingo! Holden ends the drought. Our first 3 of the year goes to Holden Bousman. 74-51. Largest lead of the night for the Senators at 23. As
Bobby
the
with the steal.
Senators come up with another steal, and Holden in transition can't finish on the little runner. And then we'll have a foul. Frustration growing for both groups, especially for the Musketeers here. 2:57 to play. It'll be 1 and 1 here as the Senators commit team foul number 8. Foul's going to go on Abels. That'll be his 4th. He'll check out. Nichols will come in. Strange will also check out of the ball game.
We had a couple of
Chase
cases
Farmer
like
back
this
in.
last year with a couple of the girls' games at the end, and we were like, the smoke rolling off of our pins.
Oh my goodness.
Because I'm about to run out of ink with all this stuff.
Ink, patience, words, running out of everything.
But the Senators have really, I mean,
This is true.
They've played pretty well.
So Pennington able to cash in with both attempts at the line, make it 74-53. And Holden will push down the floor for another wide open layup. Monster quarter for him. He's got 9 in the quarter, 13 and a half, and now 20 in the ball game. 76-53. And Jeter wildly into the paint, can't get it to go. And Nichols will slow it up, try to go behind the back. He's picked up, and Jeter all over him again. Feels like Jeter should have fell out about 25 minutes ago. Team foul number 10 on the Musketeers. His 4th as Jeter.
He plays hard, doesn't he?
He does. He gets after it.
A little wildly at times.
Nichols will go to the free throw line. He entered the game 2 of 2 on the year after the opener at Salem on the road. First attempts here tonight. First one's up is good, so he's got 3. For his 4th point now, 77-53. Coach Sullivan told me earlier today he'd like to see a game where we're in the low to mid 70s. Well, he's got that and more, but not going to quite get that defensive goal. He's hoping to keep Eastern in the mid 30s.
42. That's kid. I think he had 7 3-pointers. I think in the JV game.
Tucker Chisholm will check back into the ball game, as well as 42. Owen Pickrell, a 5'9" sophomore. We'll see Tyler Cox check in. Holden will check out on his monster night.
Going to be one shot. I was kind of hoping he'd get that 10th assist, but great game by Holden. Coach Myers thought that he would be big tonight.
Turnover.
Pickerel comes right in and misses. Bobby with the rebound.
And the Senators will try to just hold this one, hold the dogs off, if you will. Scorebook's a mess, and everything else in between on the stat sheet as well, as Parker gets into the paint and gets 2 more. Tell you what, the dynamic duo of Bousman and Green getting a job done here tonight, 80-53. And this Musketeers team is going to have to figure out a way to come up with some defensive stops, because at this rate, I mean, they come in averaging 81.5 defensively.
Yeah,
and they've given up 80 with a $1:52 to go, as Parker will come out to a standing ovation.
Whatever they did, I assume this is what they did on that 18-point comeback, sped them up against Board and got the win. But the last 2 games, it's gotten out of, I mean, even out of their control. You know, it's just, if a team responds, then you're going to have a 100-point, 80-point.
Bryce Brown has checked into the ball game, a 5'11" sophomore. Layup won't go for Nichols. Farmer had the offensive rebound and putback opportunity, and he'll be fouled. Team foul number 11 for the Musketeers, and this one's going to go on Adamson. Minute 28 to play. Again, 3rd on Adamson, and Chase Farmer with his first opportunity to break into the scoring column this year. First free throw is up and good, so Chase on the board for the 18-19 basketball season, make it 81-53, right on Eastern's defensive average. And Charles Madden will check in, a 5'11" sophomore. Much to the delight of Coach Perks and Coach Nance, his offensive line coaches, to our immediate left. Farmer misses the 2nd free throw. 81-53. 3 ball in and out, no good for the Musketeers. Fight for the ball, and it's going to stay.
Motzinger, I think.
I thought that went off of Adamson. It will stay with the Musketeers instead. Mikey Nichols will check out. So Farmer out there with Brown, Stevens, Cox, And Charles Madden, basically a JV lineup right
Nice
now,
job,
with the exception of Chase Farmer and Bobby Stevens.
Cox got the deflection off of his leg.
So it's the 9th turnover of the half, 19th of the game for Coach Gillum's ball club. Fans start to file out, at least from the eastern side. Underneath, nice feed. Cox can't get the finish. And Eastern back the other way. Out top, Chisholm gives it back to Adamson, and he'll be fouled by Brown. Brown will get into the box score with a personal. That'll be the 9th on the team.
Our line coaches are loving it. We got 2 starting O-linemen and our running back, Bobby Stevens, out there. And we got 2 O-linemen and Bobby out there going.
Coach Dwayne Nance and Coach Andrew Burks getting a thrill out of this, seeing a couple of their O-line guys out there getting the job done as Charles clears the defensive board. Adamson missed the free throw, his first miss of the night. Bobby gets into the paint, tried to leave it off for Cox. Turnover instead. 8th turnover of the half, 17th of the game. Senator cheer block starting to let the Eastern fans have it as their cheer block staying silent with 44.5 seconds to go, and the foul will be whistled against the Senators as we'll walk to the other end.
Cox.
And so Tyler Cox will pick up the personal.
You have it all the way back in the first half. What was it just to end the first half? Because we ended up with a 5-point lead. You know, those last 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes really is set the tone. You know, it was tied, and actually I think we might have even been down 1 or 2 there at the end of the second quarter. We finished strong, and the whole second half against Senators.
So Pennington knocks down a couple of free throws, make it 81-55, coming up on a half minute to play. Brown with it out top. He'll drive, try to get into the scoring act. Couldn't get it to go, but line coaches like that dribble drive take. And it'll send Brown to the line. Bryce Brown, his first opportunity for varsity points in his career. Got some career scoring nights here already for some sophomores as Brown can't get the first one to go. Living under the microscope and pressure of Coach Nance and Coach Burks.
And his O coordinator
left them both short. Charles tries to fight for the rebound, and then Farmer will pick up a foul from behind.
They want to fill up the stat sheet too. Only we're filling them up with stats and his free throws.
So Holden finishes the night with 20, and the foul on Farmer will send Chisholm to the line at the other end. That one rattles in and out, no good. He'll get one more. Pennington will have a seat. 31 seconds to play. And an offensive rebound for Adamson, and he gets the putback off the miss. (81-57), 15 seconds to play, and Farmer will lose it out of bounds. Turnover number 9 of the half, now 18th of the game. Again, a good night for Parker Green. 21 for him, 20 for Holden, both of them with career scoring nights, Coach.
Gonzalez with the miss, and it looks like went off us too. 8.2, I'm sorry, go say it again.
Just a big night here.
Yeah, that's like I said, from the last 3 minutes of the first half, and the whole second half was all Senators. That's a good win for Coach Sullivan.
81-57 your final here on the Ron Smith court as the Senators win their first game of the 18-19 campaign. They win their home opener as they now move their record to 1-1. Musketeers will drop to 1-2, but career nights in scoring at the varsity level for both Bousman and Green. No strangers to putting up big points in elementary and in junior high. They both get career highs here tonight for their varsity career at least, and more importantly, for the guy we're looking at down in front of us, Coach Clayton Sullivan, a sigh of relief as they weather the storm, and Coach Sullivan picks up his first career win at the varsity level. So congratulations to Coach Sullivan, who we will hear from in our post-game show. Our Senator post-game show will be starting soon, brought to you by Ace Hardware of Salem. Senators victorious here tonight as they hold ground here and hold serve on their home court in the season opener for the home portion of their schedule, 81-57. The final. Will step aside, hear from a couple of sponsors, and we'll come back to begin our post-game wrap-up right after this.
For 80 years, Eddie Gilstrap Motors in Salem has made thousands of both car and truck shoppers, car and truck buyers. And that commitment to customer sales and service continues to pay off. It's more than low prices and incentives and service after the sale. You've been hearing that for the second year in a row, they've been awarded the 2017 Ford President's Award. I mean, to win something that only 340 Ford dealerships across the country out of over 5,000, well, that's pretty special, wouldn't you say? The President's Award is based upon achieving the highest level of customer sales, service satisfaction, and overall experience. And the credit not only goes to manager Steve Motzinger and his entire staff, but to you, the buying public. If you've already purchased a new or pre-owned Ford, car, truck, or SUV from Eddie Gilstrap Motors, you already know what we mean. Congratulations from everyone at WSLM Radio. Eddie Gilstrap Motors, your #1 choice. On the web at EddieGilstrapMotorsINC.com.
We're here at McDonald's Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the premium quarter pounders coming in tonight, alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sideline, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside from 4 a.m. to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Big night here for West Washington again as they win their home opener on the home side of their 2018-2019 schedule. They open up here at home with the Musketeers, and they're able to hold serve, as I said, and win, going away 81-57 is the final. So 1-0 at home, 0-1 on the road, as the Senators now will look to cap off a sweep on their first double dip weekend, Coach. But I don't know, after this pace, the boys